Hi everybody on YouTube. So today I'm going to do a book review for you. Actually, if you stay tuned, you'll probably see a few of me wearing the same fabulous outfit. I apologize in advance for my appearance. I have been running errands all day and then I did some house cleaning, so I'm in my cleaning clothes. Anyways, you didn't come here to see my beautiful makeup videos anyways. This is my book channel, so everything's cool, right? Excellent. This one I'm going to review for you today is called A Million Little Pieces, and as you can see, this was bought at Walmart at some point. Not by me, I don't even know where I got this book, but it is by James Frey, and this is actually a memoir. It's a memoir by James Frey about his experience being a drug addict and going to rehab. It's mostly about the rehab portion of his experience. Let me read the back to you. It says, at the age of 23, James Frey woke up on a plane to find his 4 front teeth knocked out, his nose broken, and a hole through his cheek. He had no idea where the plane was headed, nor any recollection of the past 2 weeks. An alcoholic for 10 years and a crack addict for 3. He checked into a treatment facility shortly after landing. There he was told he could either stop using or die before he reached age 24. This is Frey's acclaimed account of his 6 weeks in rehab. Los Angeles Times Book Review, New York Times Book Review, saying it's a gripping, great story, sets itself apart, and I'll be honest with you, this book was really good. It was also kind of really gross and graphic. So one of the things that stands out in my mind in this book is his experience at the dentist. He, as you heard, woke up with his teeth missing, so he had to go to the dentist and get that fixed. And they would not allow him to have any form of drug. They wouldn't knock him out, no anesthesia, no painkiller, nothing. So for me, I don't know about you, but for me, going to the dentist is one of those experiences where, you never forget the feeling of them scraping on your teeth, or when you get a feeling, you don't forget what it's like, the smell of that drill grinding your tooth, or the Novocaine. You don't forget any of that. So even as he's explaining it very well, my own visual from my experiences are added onto his. And that whole experience for him, I felt it, I felt his pain. And it was just well written. And so, of course, they're talking about the pain that he's feeling and, having to hold onto a tennis ball to squeeze because he can't, hey, cat, because he can't do anything else because he's not allowed to have any pain medication. He has to be awake for the whole thing, which is just mind-boggling. Cat, stop it. What are you doing? Sorry. Cat was playing with things. So the dentist scene was intense, to say the least. For the breaking points of his book, he has little squiggles. He doesn't really have, chapters, but, each little section, it has those, which I thought was, it made sense, because that's, where his brain was at. Another one right in the front. Beautiful artwork, right? This book was copyrighted in 2003, and the neat thing about the book also is the way it's written. I gotta find a good page just to show you so you can see. It's sort of written in poem form, but it's not like an iambic pentameter or anything like that. Just the style of the writing on the pages, if you see that. It's not like your typical book. You still read it left to right and all that fun stuff, but there's no quotes in the book at all, so when people are speaking, or when they're thinking, you don't really know the difference. Well, you figure it out, but it doesn't, show it visually like most books do. What else can I tell you? There is a lot of swearing in this book, not unfortunately, but if you're one of those people who's not into books with swearing, then you might not enjoy this. But he is in rehab, and he's in rehab with, like, other drug addicts, obviously. It was just such an interesting book. I could talk about this one, actually, for quite a while. He was in rehab, but he didn't follow all the rules completely. And he also, like, was rooming with, or... Ooh, it's been a long day. He was rooming with, or his other addict mates. I don't know how to explain that. Those other people that were at the treatment facility. Like, one of them was a judge, one of them was, like, in the mafia, one of them was, like, a child sort of molester. Like, there are a whole bunch of different characters that we meet in here, and those people are also really interesting. At the end of the book, which I appreciate, it talks about what happens to each of the characters. So it says, like, who returned to work, and who died, and who made it through rehab. And the thing I never knew, because I don't really do drugs, or have never been to a treatment facility, whatever, or even researched it, shall we say, it was saying how, like, 15 to 17% of people at the best treatment facilities in the world, 15 to 17% of those people don't relapse. Like, they get better. So it's such a small statistic. It's so sad about addiction, and that was really interesting to see. So you find out, you know, which percentage of the people, and that you read about who made it, you know, successfully through their program. And I also really like that he talked about how in the world of addiction, they tend to tell you you have to do the 12-step program, or you have to go to AA meetings. And they say that's the only thing that's successful for people. The only way you can recover is with those programs. And I like that he said, you know what? Not necessarily for me. You know, he was very much so, I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe that God is helping me do certain things. So that aspect of it, he said he couldn't believe in it. You know, that just wasn't his thing. And so he found his own power to deal with these things. And I felt like I related to that in a lot of ways, because I'm not really a religious person as well. I feel similar to him in that I find strength in different things. When people are like, what do you believe in? I believe in me. I believe in putting my mind to things and doing it, and I can do it if I want to. So I found a connection with that, and I think a lot of people can. So in closing, this book was very interesting. I mean, most of us have never been to a treatment facility, or we don't know about all the experiences that happen there. So I think that this memoir, even though it was a memoir and it wasn't fiction, for people like us who are on the outside, we kind of would think of it, oh, well, this is a great story. It's kind of a fiction story, or it could be. It's just a very interesting book, and I would highly, highly recommend it to anybody. So, thumbs up for this one. Check it out. A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. See ya.